Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and I'm going to do a tarot reading for this week. We're starting with the first day of spring on Sunday. We're going through March 20th through the 26th. And of course, oftentimes timeless messages for healing our souls comes through. So just know that, if you happen upon this video at a weird time after or much later and you get a message out of it, that's my intention. So anyhow, let me drop the camera down and get started. Okay, so I decided to use just the regular Rider-Waite tarot, but I do have astrological symbols written on this deck because I've used it for teaching before. So if they're distracting, I'll ask you to just kind of ignore them. But if you're an astrologer that's learning tarot, it'll be awesome for you. Or if you're wanting to learn astrology and you've been studying tarot for years, this will help sink in a little bit more too. Okay, so let me go ahead and allow for reversals. And then we'll see how our week is going to be. Goodness knows we're holding space for a whole lot of pain, aren't we? Okay. March 20th. Happy first day of spring, which sets the tone for the whole year. And check out the astrology reading I have done for that, even though it's long. I'm sorry it came out so long for this week, but I had to cover that, spring equinox that, for the northern hemisphere anyway, that is the energy. It's like a solar return for the, for the transits of the year. So anyway, I explained that in detail in the reading. But so for March 20th through the 26th, using the tarot, what does our week look like? How can we best deal with the energy at this time? Okay, so let's go Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think that's right, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the 26th. And I'll take the 2 off the bottom just for fun. Okay. Or for more of the overall theme, I suppose. Okay, so Death reversed, Page of Cups for Sunday. Monday we have the Two of Wands. I guzzled a bunch of water. Justice, 2 of Wands and Justice. I like that, especially when it's upright. 7 of Cups reversed. And the Ace of Swords. Okay. Two of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Swords. Wow, this is interesting. And then we have the 6 of Wands. That's nice. Ooh, the 5 of Swords. Yikes. And then we have the 6 of Cups reversed. And the 4 of Wands. And then we have the 3 of Cups with the Hierophant. Okay. Yeah, and then what was on the bottom, I forgot to see whether they were upright or reversed, so I'll have to read them both ways when we get there. Okay, so for Sunday here, with the death reversed, this is like avoiding change. Of course, we're all holding on for dear life with, what we're witnessing on the news. We are grieving for the losses that we're seeing. We're trying to preserve our sense of life. And my advice I keep giving is to not watch any more of the images on the news than we have to, and to get most of your news from reputable news sources in print. Unless the images don't bother you, unless you're okay with seeing, a lot of death and destruction. It's heartbreaking to me, but some people it's not that bad. So, whatever works for you. But of course, this card is ruled by Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. We're talking death and transformation, but nothing ever really dies, right? We all are going to die someday, but the spirit of who we truly are and the unique souls that we each are, that never dies. That never dies. It's just a temporary, experience that we're having here on Earth in a human body. But anyway, when the death card comes through reversed, that can have us, like I was saying before, like resisting some big change, because when it's upright, it's a card of big changes. When it's reversed, there's that resistance to changing, or for some reason unable, like we're not really able to totally move on. It's also, when the death card comes to reverse, because remember, of course, it's ruled by Pluto. So Pluto in the worst sense are, people with power control issues, like Putin, right? Or like my new friend Lori over at the Way of Positive Change, she calls him the Pudster or Poodster. Anyway, let's just send lots of love and light out to everyone to help us all get through this. We are watching people in the most just horrendous atrocities, in the deepest survival issues. And we're witnessing terrible power and control issues with this card. We're coming through reversed, of course. So to me, if I were to get this card reversed, I would be looking at, on a personal level, where I'm resisting changing. What new creation with the Page of Cups, this combo here, what new creation is there for me to tap into on a deeper soul level? Because with the cups, we're in our feelings, and our feelings help us create. And when the Page of Cups comes through upright, it's a really nice card for sensing in to the new beginnings that could be coming through. It's often the pages, all the pages are often messengers. So it could be some visualization work that you can do to just open up and see where you might be resisting change, but what new thing could you create once you let go of, maybe the fear of change. Maybe this is just a fear of change. And change can be scary, and even really good change can be scary. Well, not necessarily scary, but it can be stressful. So on the lower levels, or the lesser degrees, this could be like the fear of change, or even the fear of success, because it brings in change, and change can be stressful for some people. But let yourself open up to all the new aspects of life. Let yourself just be free of any emotional attachments to the way your life should be, other than to live your life in as much love as you can. And then for Monday, so that's a nice tone to set for the week. But then Monday comes along with the Two of Wands. We're in the place where we're wanting more. And we have especially now, with Aries season, right? So Aries has to do with courage and that brave, bold, moving forward, like blazing your own trail, because you have that sense of self and you want to create more. The Two of Wands to me is about wanting more. You have your good sense of self, which is the staff behind you that's like, you've got your stake in the ground. I know who I am, and now I want to go somewhere else. And maybe you're thinking about traveling. Be careful, now because of this new outbreak of COVID that's been, I guess it's a combo of Delta and Omicron. It's called BA2. And it's supposed to be way, way, way more contagious than anything we've ever had. So, be careful with that. But if you do travel, just mask up like crazy and shield up, because remember, it can come into your eyes, right? Mask is not your only, mucous membranes. So, if you touch something and then rub your eye, you can get it. It can go into your eye and you can catch it. You could have a cut on your hand and catch it. Of course, eating it's not so bad if it happened to be on your food, because, your stomach acid will, clear it out. But any other means of getting into your body, you have to be really careful with all the mucous membranes. So, on the combination level here, to me this is about balance, most of all. Of course, Venus rules Libra and Taurus, but the Justice card is all about Venus and Libra. So this has to do with the attraction to relationship, but you want things to be balanced out. So if you're planning travel or whatever new thing you're planning with the Two of Wands, because it's all, it's very future oriented, and it's about making some decisions that help get you to go where you want to go. If it's marriage or if it's a legal situation, it looks good. If it's just in the realm, there's never just when it comes to justice. I don't mean to minimize how important justice and fairness and equality is. That's what this card is all about. Lady Justice has to do with the truth. And then once you know the truth and you've made that progress, then you know how to make the decisions that you want in your life. Both of these cards have a lot to do with making decisions. All of the twos to me are about making decisions. This is more like a decision about where you want to go, what honors your spirit. And with the Justice, you have to remember it is a card of law, of course, but it's also a card of cause and effect. So that brings us into the realm of spiritual law, and karma. That's all, karma is. Law of karma is just a law of cause and effect. Because you do something, you have an effect. So balance those decisions wisely, and all will be well. But it looks like facing some fears and then moving forward and making some really good decisions that'll affect your life later on. Let's see, with the Seven of Cups reversed, this might feel like, now, and this would be for Tuesday, like maybe you don't have the options that you want. Sometimes with the Seven of Cups, it's just, it's just the day is filled with not really having what you want. Or somebody's keeping secrets, or you just don't have all the information you need, and especially with the Ace of Swords here. I mean, I could see these cards being, something that we're holding space for on the news and globally, like what's going on with the war in Ukraine. Uh, this could have to do with deception, and we're cutting through the deception, cutting through the illusion, the where they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. We're cutting through the lies. We're holding space for what's just and fair, equality. And then with the Ace of Swords, it's like just clearing all this out, this subterfuge and obfuscation. Hold on to, on a personal level, hold on to what you really want. And be aware that somebody might not be telling you the truth. Like if, let's say you're shopping for something and some salesperson is not telling you everything about the thing you're shopping for. Do some more research, get underneath this like cloud of whatever this is, and just keep going for the truth. Because the Ace of Swords will get you there. The Ace of Swords is all about truth, breaking through something that was foggy and unclear and uncertain, and getting clear. Getting to the place where you're clear. Let's see. Is there anything more with this Seven of Cups? I feel like it's just be careful about making choices. You get to the truth about something before you actually either buy it or commit to it, whatever it is. And then for Wednesday, with and this Ace of Swords is all air signs, so this could be you if you're an air sign. If you're Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And of course, this card is ruled by Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. It's more like what do you really, really want? So get under those illusions to get really clear. But then with Wednesday, with Jupiter and Capricorn, normally this would be, things are going great, but you have a lot to juggle on your plate. You're trying to balance out your priorities. But because it came through reversed, you might be negotiating with somebody on whatever it was that you're trying to get clear of. And you're going to come out on top. You're going to come out really clear. As long as you can just go with your own independent thinking and you do your own research and you don't take other people's word for whatever they're saying. If this is stuff that's on the news, this will be lies and subterfuge, and then the clarity that comes through when you figure out that there was just, it's always about following the money. This may be news coming out about different companies that are saying one thing and then doing another, as far as however they do or do not support or still invested in Putin's war. Yeah, there's a list. There's an ongoing list about companies that have either completely pulled out or who are temporarily pulling out, and then others that are still there, like Coke Industries, they're still there. Some other, what were the other ones? Reebok. Yeah, there's a list. I'll try to find it and post it in the community section. I was reading it this morning. I was surprised. You would think all of them would just divest, but they haven't. So anyway, I feel like that has to do, on the global level, yes, it's that. But also on the personal level, we have to vote with the power of our money. And that's what this feels like to me. Like deciding, making that decision about how we'll spend our money. Like, will we, like, I wouldn't buy any Reebok shoes anyway, but I mean, just because I tend to wear Ugg boots and Birkenstocks. But I know, sexy, right? But I don't care. I have really healthy feet too. But deciding like going off of the list and deciding what I did that with when I figured out who was in alignment with Trump way back when. I got rid of all kinds of stuff that I used to support, like certain credit cards. I canceled certain credit cards and just went with the one that was not. Shopping at Lowe's instead of Home Depot. There's one thing that helps. Do your research and find out, unless you don't care. But I think putting our money where our beliefs lie, that's what brings in justice to me. And justice is what we want to go for, and we want to be independent of any type of lack of clarity and any type of, for me anyway, that's what I want to do. Is I want to stand my ground when it comes that way, or when it comes to those things. So if it has nothing to do with that, and you're all clear in that direction, on the personal level, this could be independently thinking, like I was saying before, independently thinking before you invest in something that maybe you've been shopping for, or maybe these are travel plans, or maybe this would be having trouble negotiating with someone, because I often see this card as a negotiation card. All of the twos are about decisions, of course, like I said, but with the Pentacles, we're in the realm of money and resources. So, with this Two of Pentacles reversed, we do have to be careful about being financially disorganized. We have to be careful about spending money on things just for some type of external validation, and get really clear with your, look at these swords here, and this is an air sign here. Swords here. There's a lot this week about mental clarity and independent thinking, and also organizing yourself in that way, organizing your life in that way. The Queen of Swords is often a highly, high-level professional person. They are, attorneys, scientists, teachers, anyone who can organize their mind in a way and organize their lives. That's what this is all about. Okay, so, because that, if you take the time and do that, it'll pay off later. Getting organized always pays off later. It makes you feel better, and then you can sleep at night. It's when you're unorganized and not current with what's going on in your life that it makes it hard to sleep. So with Thursday, with the Six of Wands, it looks to me like there's some heart-opening recognition where, if you're not being loved in the outer world, at least you're loving yourself, right? Jupiter is about expansion and healing and loving, and Leo is all about the heart and self-expression. And this is a card of course, it's victory, but it's also acknowledging yourself and all the work that you've done. And whether or not people acknowledge you from the outside doesn't matter if you acknowledge yourself. And with the Knight of Swords, it might be that you can get going really quickly and get something done. Like these days in here, especially like Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, might not be as productive as you want. Well, Thursday comes along and it's like, whew. Okay, we can get it done. With Friday, the Six of Cups, to me, it reversed, can bring up childhood wounding, childhood trauma, or any trauma, any pain, any issues of connecting with loved ones from the past that need to be healed. And the Four of Wands is one of the family cards. The sun in Scorpio that rules this Six of Cups has to do with going deeper and finding out who you can trust and who you cannot. And that's why, when this card comes through reversed, it can be the violation of trust that comes up. Like maybe you remember something in the past. Like maybe when you were little and you were putting yourself out there to be seen, because it's a real need to be seen and heard and understood. And to the degree that we are seen and heard and understood when we're little, we have we have a much stronger ability to create in the world and express ourselves, because it's our creative self-expression that we're putting out there, right? Well, with the Six of Cups reversed, it can be really challenging sometimes, because we can bump up against places like we put ourselves out there and everything's going great, but then we bump up against something else that still needs to be healed, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that there's something to be healed. There's nothing wrong at all with that. It can be sometimes that, and this could be a family member too as well. This might not have anything to do with you, but it could be a family member, because this is such a family-oriented card. Or it could be someone that you invite into your home, or you go to their home, or some event where you're connecting with somebody who's stuck in the past. With the Six of Cups sometimes reversed, this is about being stuck in the past and they're needing to heal something. And it could be an event that happened in the past that was traumatic, and now it's time to heal it, right? Because we're all going through this, this period in time where we have so many opportunities to heal. I mean, I think they were always there, but now it's even more heightened with, the planetary energies, with all this in Pisces. Neptune and Jupiter, Mercury in Pisces right now. The sun's in Aries, so we're moving forward in a more of our presence than we've ever had before. And your personal power, the presence of who you are showing up out in the world, well, sometimes, you'll bump up against places where it's like, oh, dang it, I thought I was done with that. Well, dang it, it's come up again. So it's okay. It can be that there's someone in your family that can just help you through it. And other times it's a family member, an event from a family member that created the wounding, the trauma. And so from there, you might want to go to your friends. You might want to go to a therapist, of course, or come to one of us tarot readers to help you through it. Or any other, health, care type of, or any type of a caring person to help you through something. But it could just be something from the past that bubbles up, and it's like, oh, all right. But getting through it, you'll be much more complete and whole in your spirit, and you'll be much more emotionally free, right? And when your emotional body is free, the pure feelings of your spirit come through and guide you, which is wonderful. Divine timing is an amazing thing, that synchronicity of life, which that's part of the Page of Cups too, can be in that synchronicity. But it's a wonderful thing to experience. And then with Saturday, on another level I just tuned into, because this card is often travel. Four of Wands can be just literally a traveling event. It could be that you get stuck somewhere with a bunch of kids traveling. So, if that's the case, I guess you just get through it, right? And take care of the kids. But Saturday, or loved ones, this could be someone with Alzheimer's, and there's an event, right? But Saturday comes along, and with the Three of Cups, that is major celebration. with your kindred spirits, and of course there's 3 women, but it doesn't have to be women, but it certainly can be. And it's one of those cards where you have, it's related to abundance, it's related to friendship, it's all about being in community and being very creative, right? You know, if it were May Day, that would be the card for me, but it's still March. But then we do have our Taurus season card right here with the Hierophant. And the Hierophant can be about divine order, man-made law. It can be about spiritual law. It can be about conforming to the rules of society. But if that's the case, make sure you have a lot of fun, right? It didn't come through reversed, so I don't think it has, any negative connotation to it that, that could be a challenge. Like let's say both of these were reversed. I would say, be careful about drinking too much because you might get busted. DUI kind of energy there. But that's not how they came through. They came through straight up. So celebration with, could be with society, with the Hierophant there. Could be celebration, like even if you have a church group. Or something at school, like a school function, because the Hierophant is often the card for teachers, right? In the tarot, in the major arcana, you have the Empress can be the mom, the Emperor can be the dad. Number 3 card, Empress, mom. Number 4 card, Emperor, the dad. And then Hierophant can be society, can be church, can be teacher, going to school, that kind of thing. So yeah, okay, so let's see what was on the bottom. I have the Lovers and the King of Wands, but I honestly can't say if they were reversed or straight up, so I'll read them both ways. So the Lovers can be a decision. It could be this invitation to bond with someone, but I always say go slow, have a lot of communication to make sure there's a meeting of the heart and the mind rather than just an attraction. And I always think it's kind of funny how the way they created this deck. A.E. Waite is the guy, or what was his name? Edgar Arthur? I think Edgar Arthur Waite. The woman's looking up to Archangel Gabriel, but the man's looking at her, right? So it's like she has to be the one to make the decision whether or not to receive the relationship. And the clouds are there to make sure you talk about things, because communication is the key. And go slow, because this is just an invitation. This is just like the erotic force coming together, which is an invitation, but it might not be real love. So you have to be careful. When the Lovers comes to reverse, that's my card for learning to love yourself first, so that then you can really receive the love that you want from another person. Because remember, relationships are always mirrors. They will always mirror where you're at. Or not, and when they don't, and you're not feeling met or mirrored, then it's not the right person. And this person could be, with the King of Wands, if it's, it doesn't matter what sex the person is, or what gender, or however they identify, it could be somebody pretty forceful that knows what they do want. Like, I know what I want, why don't you know? And you just kind of have to slow things down, because this can be, with the King of Wands, it can be a lot of forceful energy. Now, on another level, if this were reversed and this were straight up, in this combination, it would be to love yourself first, and then you're in your authority, because the King of Wands is all about being in your authority. Now, if it were this way, straight up, and the King of Wands were reversed, I would say be very careful, because this person could be kind of abusive, or if you have any tendencies to be tendencies to be kind of negative towards yourself, then that would be some inner talk that you want to be careful about. Because remember, the Lovers is ruled by Mercury, and that's all about communication and thoughts and the way our minds work, our thinking processes. Now, if, let's say, they were both reversed, don't even go there, man. Just love yourself and run. Because this person could be quite abusive and quite self-centered, and the King of Wands reversed is pretty awful. It's we're talking tyrants, we're talking orange monsters, if you know who I'm talking about, the kind of men you would never want to hang out with. Or if it's a woman, it's like even worse, or just as bad, whatever. Somebody who's really power hungry, somebody who's impulsive, because we're talking Aries, impulsive talking, verbal diarrhea, right, with this combination. And just somebody who's just like really ruthless, and they have these certain expectations, and you better do what I want, like that kind of thing. Not good at all if these two were reversed. A real lesson in self-love if you had, if you got into a relationship like that. So anyway, that's it for this week, you guys. I'm just going to send you lots of love and welcome your comments and any questions. And that's it. Okay, bye.